Well, I would actually kind of like to play this Ted Cruz sort of game he did with Chuck Grassley and Chuck Schumer with Stephanopoulos.
All right, let's hear
This is number 2, and it's kind of funny. He's playing a real game here, undermining Grassley. It'll take just a moment. You got it, Matt?
Could be an uphill fight with some of your colleagues, including Senator Chuck Grassley of Iowa, is worried what it's going to mean for pre-existing coverage of pre-existing conditions. Here's what he said to Iowa Public Radio about your proposal.
There's a real feeling that that's subterfuge to get around pre-existing conditions. And if it is, in fact, subterfuge, and it has the effect of annihilating the pre-existing condition requirement that we have in the existing bill, then obviously I would object to that.
What do you say to Senator Grassley?
Well, look, I think we're making steady progress, and I think the conversations have been collaborative and in good faith. I don't think we should be deceived by Chuck Schumer and his attacks and misstatements.
But that's Chuck Grassley, not Chuck Schumer.
I understand that, but what's being repeated there is what Schumer said this week, which is that he called it a hoax. And listen, Chuck Schumer and Barack Obama know a lot about health care hoaxes.
All right. So basically what's going on here is Ted Cruz is trying to push this, I think it's called the Consumer Freedom Choice Amendment, something to that effect, which, of course, basically says, okay, you can retain those aspects of the patient protections in the Affordable Care Act as long as insurance companies are allowed to sell one plan that is not it is not compliant to the minimum standards set by Obamacare. Now, of course, that will be much cheaper because it will be crap insurance. It will also attract younger and healthier people because they don't feel like they need real health insurance. And what will happen is those other plans that are compliant, Obamacare compliant, will basically attract mostly older and sicker people, broadly speaking. And that's when you get what is known as a death spiral, where the percentage of people who are in a plan who are going to need it beyond the average person goes up, and the plan just becomes more and more expensive and then dies because no one can afford it. It's also basically what the high-risk pools are. They are just basically death spiral pools, available only for people with a ton of money who need a ton of health insurance. And they know they do because they're already sick. I mean, so that's the problem there. But, yeah, Cruz is trying to deflect the fact that his own Republican colleagues are saying that his plan is transparent way of destroying health insurance. So the Republicans seem to have a real problem. Again, I find it hard to believe they're not going to pass anything. But they only have a couple more weeks to do so, and I don't know. They better get to it. If they want. I hope they don't. And then, of course, Cruz's fallback position is, and we'll talk about that later in the program, is to just go back to let's repeal it, have it kick in after the 2018 midterms, and then let's figure out what we're going to replace it with. Hi, folks. Sam Seder here. We still need your help on our Patreon page. YouTube ads have come back, but not nearly as much as we had before. So if you can help us out, any little bit helps. Head over to our Patreon page right at this URL, and you'll help us keep helping you by making videos